And shake these bees into this little tote right here, into this little container. All right, I think I see 2 mites in there. Down in the very bottom, they're kind of settling down there.
There you go.
All right, man. Appreciate you.
Bruce, I enjoyed it. I appreciate it. Appreciate your help.
Oh, isn't that beautiful? We got all the bees here working. They seem fairly calm. Man, that's an ideal colony right there. Wow, look at these bees. And this is a colony I was a little worried about early in the year. But I'm done for today. I'm a little overheated, I think. I gotta get home, get cooled off, and just call it a day. So it's hot, it's humid, and it's still in the morning time, but it's gonna get miserable, I think, as the day progresses. But we're gonna be out here in it as long as we can be. We're gonna pull Apivar strips. They've been in here long enough. We're gonna go through the 10 colonies here at Upland Farms that Auburn did their studies on and see if the Apivar was effective, and just generally look at the overall health of these colonies. Now the truth is, when I was out here a couple of weeks ago, just peeking in on some of these, I actually put some probiotics in here, some Super DFM. They were looking overall a little weaker than I had hoped. I've had a few that have died out. We get down here a little ways. You see this Apimate right here. Died out, that one did. There's a couple colonies over here. So I was a little concerned about them, but right now the bees look fairly active, so maybe they've got some cotton fields or something blooming around and they're kicking it in gear a little bit. But see, the bees are looking pretty happy down there. We're gonna dive in here and see what the real story is. Okay, here's our mite checking kit. So we're gonna go in this colony right here and check for mites. This is the Auburn study. This is the first hive they did, first colony they did. I don't think we'll do all 10 of them for the video, but we'll do at least 2 or 3, or maybe even 4, and just we'll do a comparison here and see how they look from a mite count perspective. So I use the Dawn dishwashing soap method for my mite washes. Enough that it'll cover the bees when we put them in there. I put 2 tablespoons. You probably only need 1 to 1.5 tablespoons, but of Dawn in a gallon of water. And so that's what it looks like. Gonna break in here. The first thing I'm gonna do is remove the strips. I really don't have any idea what we're gonna find in these colonies. It's been a couple of weeks since I've been in here. The first thing I see is that we have very few bees up here in the top box. This is just a honey super, I guess. Maybe from a dead out that I put on here to let the bees kind of monitor and manage. And you can see we don't really have any bees in this second box here. Now this is one of my queens that I grafted. It's kind of an experiment for me all year anyway. We do have some brood right here. So these bees are brooding way back right now. This time of the year, some of the bees will tend to do that. My guess is we have a queen, but just not a super strong colony right now. This bottom box looks pretty good, so once again, removing the Apivar strips. They have done their thing, hopefully. We'll smoke them down a little bit. And I want to find a frame, preferably that has some open young larvae and brood. Make sure we don't have the queen. Got all stages of brood on that frame. Same here, gonna check for the queen, don't see her. It's very possible this colony is just brooding back a little bit because of the harsh conditions. Let's see, down here in this bottom box, they look pretty healthy, and frankly, I'm okay if they wanna hang out in that bottom box. That's perfectly fine. Really don't see any beetles, anything like that going on, and that's a good sign. I have used Grobex around my colonies this year to help with beetle control, and so far, I haven't had the beetles that I typically do. I'm not saying that's the reason, but it very well could be. I see eggs, I see some open larvae over here. So that might be a good one to take a sample from. Real gently gonna lay it right there. Let me check this next one over. Yeah, I think, and this is gonna be a good frame right here to take a sample from. So I'm gonna do it right here on top of the box so you can see what I'm doing. We're gonna look for the queen one more time. I don't see her. And shake these bees into this little tote right here, into this little container. Gonna let the foragers fly off is what we're doing here. I'm also gonna shake this other frame right here. I think it's a good frame as well. Don't see the queen. That should give us plenty of bees. Now I'm looking closely for the queen. Do I see the queen in there? I want to make sure I don't see her. This is a 1/4 cup scoop, so I want 2 of these. I'm going to shake them down to the corner, looking for the queen the whole time. Don't see her. I'm going to dump them in here, like that. Now, some people are a little bit, they don't like the idea of killing 300 bees or so on average. I may even put a few extras in there, just because that may not have been quite a 1/2 cup. But a 1/2 cup of bees supposedly is right at around 300 bees, which is a good number for a test. Just got to make sure you don't put your queen in there. Now I'm going to put these frames back in here. Put this hive back together. Might be a little bit too much room for them right now. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to take this honey super off. They don't need that box. I think they're okay with 2. They'd probably be okay with 1, but since I'm not seeing a big beetle problem, I think this will be fine. Just to leave them on there for now anyway, and I can adjust as time goes on. I'm just going to shake, make sure the lid's on good. Sometimes it works better to swirl them. Just want to shake them for a minute. So I'm going to give it a minute here, a good solid minute.
1 minute, counting down.
Okay, here we go. Okay, it's been a little over a minute now. I'm going to set them right here and let that settle for a couple of minutes while I pull the Apivar strips out of that next colony. Then we'll come back and check the results of this test. Pull the strips. It's going to be quick and easy. Don't see any beetles really. Oh, that's heavy. If you'll remember, we put these strips in when we pulled honey on June 21st, and today's August 10th. So, it's been 7 or 8 weeks, but according to the instructions, you are to leave the Apivar strips on for 6 to 8 weeks. I know people say 6 weeks, but I believe it says no less than 42 days, no more than 56 days. So, nice brood pattern. That's all I got to see. Don't see any beetle issues, no real issues. Going to close it up, put the box back on, and we are done with this hive. Excited about that one, looks good. Now let's go back over here and check the results of that mite test. All right, I think I see 2 mites in there. Down in the very bottom, they're kind of settling down there. All right, that's good news. That's well within threshold. All right, this is hive number 2 from the Auburn study. Not a whole lot going on in the top box here. Got a few bees up here, a little bit of brood. Let's go down below and see. Oh, not a strong looking colony here. Oh, there's a little bit of brood down here. It's been so hot and nasty though. Yeah, that's not a bad little brood pattern. Wow, it actually looks pretty good. So maybe these bees are just brooded way back. Maybe it's going to be fine. So we're going to look for the queen very carefully. They definitely can't afford to lose a queen right now. Well, that was kind of a fail. There we go. No queen in there. I'm really excited though that I'm not seeing really any significant beetles out here. That's a good sign. A little bit of debris in there, but I'm seeing one. I think I'm seeing one, maybe, we're gonna call it 2 mites. I think there's 2 in there. We've only been through 4 colonies and I gotta get moving here. It's already getting extremely hot and humid. If you can tell by looking at me, I'm not sure, but we're gonna go to Auburn hive number 5 and check in on it. It was the one with the greatest infestation, and we'll see what the effectiveness of Apivar was in that colony. I think it was up in the 40s or 50s on the mite lobe, which was absolutely ridiculous. Frankly, I wouldn't be surprised if these bees weren't doing very well with all the mites they had in there, although hopefully that's cleaned up a lot now. But there's some bees in here. Not looking super populated. Yeah, I'm not seeing really a lot of brood at all. I see a little bit down in the next frame over. Let's go ahead and do a test and see. They may all fly away if they're all foragers. Oh, we got a little brood pattern here. Maybe they're beginning to rebound a little bit, or maybe they're just brooding way back. Oh yeah, okay. All right, well, I'm happy with that. Looking for the queen. We got open brood. Actually looks pretty healthy. I'm seeing eggs, so we got us a queen. Okay, I feel better now. Okay, so you see what the health of this colony is. It doesn't look great, but maybe they'll pull it through. Seeing 4 mites in there and some debris. So we still have a mite load, but way, way reduced from what it was with the Auburn study. It's well within threshold. Well, beekeeping can be unpredictable. I got a phone call from a guy that's coming from north of Atlanta to pick up some 5-gallon buckets of honey. So I better go get him that honey and then I'll come back. It certainly is hot. I'm leaving Applin here to go get this guy's honey. Might be good for me to get in this truck in this air-conditioned cab for a little while and get cooled off. It's gonna be an incredibly hot day. I don't know if I'll be able to get everything done I need to today. It may just get too hot for me. I may go ahead and do the northern route up there at the farm in Ozark and then come down here, or I may just come back down here. Not sure yet, but. Here's a cotton field just through the woods from the bees at the farm, so that's a good thing. We're coming in from the other direction than we did in the other video. All that cotton over there, acres and acres of it. That saved my bees over the last few years, having them near cotton. All right, we're coming down the hill from the other direction here. And see the railroad track up there? That is, just cross that railroad track and hang a left this time and we're going up to the farm where I grew up. There it is, Jenny Farm Road. Does this look familiar? There are the bees at the farm. Okay, we're up at the farm and here's a customer. This is
Rick Aldridge.
Rick, all the way from north of Atlanta. So how many hours was it down here, Rick?
About 4 hours and 20 minutes.
So it's a good drive to come get 5 buckets of honey from me, but we've had a nice visit this morning. Rick is a beekeeper. You've been keeping bees about how long, Rick?
10 or 12 years.
He knows Bob Benny up there and other beekeepers up there in North Georgia, so it's been a pleasure talking to him. But now we're gonna get this honey loaded up and get him on the road and get me back out on the bees. Anyway, here's the honey room. You can see they go way back. We had a total of 155 buckets this year, but we've sold a bunch of them and some of them are still at my house. But Brian somehow always finds us when we're going to do the work. So he just here he's going to load them up while I sit here and talk on the phone.
It's a pretty good deal, isn't it?
Ryan's a handy
Sit here and talk on the video. He is. What we're doing, just going to make sure they're all sealed real good around the top, and they should be. There's a few that may not have got pounded down really good. And we're going to load them up in the truck. Throw them here on Rick's truck. There's 3. We got 2 more to go. It's great. I just can shoot the film, shoot the video, and let Brian do the work. That's always awesome. Look, there's Rick. Be careful, man. There we go. Thanks, bro.
There you go.
All right, man. Appreciate you.
Bruce, I enjoyed it. I appreciate it. Appreciate your help.
You have a safe trip.
You
I appreciate
too.
you,
When
man.
you're back up toward Cumming, stop by and visit us.
All right, maybe we'll get up there one
Maybe
day.
you get to spend a couple of days with us.
All right, thank y'all. We'll see you. Before I went back down to Applin, I thought I'd just take care of these bees here at the farm at least right now. So let me show you how this first colony I broke into looks. They're looking good. I'll pull the Apivar out. I really don't remember the history on this one, if we pulled honey, how much we pulled or anything like that, but I'm gonna try to manage this here without setting up a tripod, just for your viewing pleasure. Oh, isn't that beautiful? We got all the bees here working. They seem fairly calm. Over here we've got the milk brood, the young larvae. Don't really see any eggs, but I haven't looked that close. But man, there's some eggs maybe down in here, but they're just looking good and healthy. So I'm gonna do a mite check and see how their mite situation looks after removing the Apivar. But looks like a nice healthy colony for this time of year here in southeast Alabama. Now we do have a cotton field, half mile away maybe up the hill. So That's probably where they're getting their nutrition right now, but don't see any hive beetles, which is awesome. Maybe the use of grub X has really helped around the bottoms of these colonies. I don't know, something has for these bees. Beautiful. Seeing 3 mites in there. Here's a frame from the horizontal hive. This beekeeping thing just never gets old. I love it. August 10th. We're up here in Ozark. Look at this colony of bees right here, man. Wow. How strong they are. I haven't been up here in a while. We got us a deep and a medium here. We condensed them way down when we harvested. Isn't that amazing? I've actually been seeing some drones around, so, you know, pretty impressive. Here's the bottom box, that same colony. Let's get the Apivar out. This colony is known to be a little feisty. It's pretty nice, pretty healthy. How about that? I don't know. I've just kind of left these bees alone up here. I have treated them, we pulled honey, but I haven't spent a lot of time up here in Ozark this year. Yeah, this is the one up here I thought was gonna die out here just a couple months ago. They weren't very strong at all. Just left them alone and, well, they look pretty good. We must have requeened. I think my bees do a lot of requeening that I never know about. I'm okay with that. I just can't manage every single queen all the time. And yeah, look at that brood pattern. Do you think they got a nice queen in there? Wow. I'll say so. I really don't know the genetics of origin for this queen. It's possible that it's a daughter or granddaughter of a Michael Palmer queen, or possibly even a Greg Burns queen, but I'm not really sure. I kind of lost track, but they look like they're doing great. They seem reasonably calm. Man, pretty excited about that. Sometimes if you just let the bees do their thing, they'll do okay. And I think this is going to be a really productive, nice colony for me moving forward. At least I hope so. I mean, wow, just look at that brood pattern. Nice job, girls. Here's a colony with a Michael Palmer queen in it. They have been so good. It might be the only one that survived last year, and I assume it's the same queen in here still. But man, you can tell they're calm, they're just doing their thing. The rest of them, I just didn't give them much of a chance last year, but these survived in spite of the beekeeper and had a really productive, nice year. Oh, wow. Okay, I see a couple of little beetles here, but nothing like a typical amount of beetles for this bee yard. This is one of my worst yards for beetles typically, and I've seen very few today in these colonies. Now I want you to look at how calm these bees are. Just totally mellow, just minding their own business, not worried about me. And that's one thing I'm really trying to work towards with my bees, is a better attitude. All right, I pulled this frame kind of out of the middle, and you can see there's some brood up here. They're starting to backfill with some nectar from something right there. That's a little brood pattern on this side. And you might be able to see there's brood all down in there. So this brood pattern here, got pollen in there. Really just a nice frame. We got some queen cups here, but I don't think we have. I think they're dry. Now look over here, you'll see where I left this feeder in here. They filled the feeder up with comb, and they got comb back here in that space. So they packed my stuff in every little crevice. If I decide I want to feed them again, I'm going to have to replace that feeder and clean that all up back there. But we'll leave it alone for now. Excited about how they're doing, though. I wish I had 100 colonies just like this as far as attitude goes, but maybe we'll get there one day. Well, after I sold the honey, I went through the hives there at the farm and up in Ozark, and then came up here to Midland City. Just got the Apivar strips out of them, and found that some hive beetles had some dead outs up here at Midland City. But I'm done for today. I'm a little overheated, I think. I got to get home, get cooled off, and just call it a day. So that's it for August 10th. I'll pick the video back up when I get back down at Apivar Farms and get into the hives again. Whew, man, it's hot. It's been 6 days since I was out here and got started on these colonies here at Apivar Farms here in southeast Alabama. I'm back down here today. It is hot, but I'm feeling pretty good, so I think we're going to be in good shape. But today's objective is very simple: get the Apivar strips out of these colonies, test for mites as we started, like we started last week. I pulled out this product that Rob from the Robbies sent me a while back. It's a mite testing / grafting table here, and I'm going to give it a shot, see how it works. I'll put a link in the description down below to this product and to the Robbies, and you can check it out on your own if you want. This is Auburn Hive number 4. I'll pull the strip out. Just going to go ahead and get down to the bottom box, because I imagine that's where most of the brood is. We got to get the strips out anyway. I got to really move fast. I'm starting way later than I anticipated today. Oh yeah, we got some brood. Oh yeah, this will be a really nice frame to try and pull a sample from, because we got catch brood, a lot of open brood on there. So I'm going to set this. I want to try and show you how this works, hopefully. I want to get it here on the camera. Normally I might do it off the side a little bit, but I'm going to shake the bees down on the table here. Shake another frame of bees on here. Looking for the queen. Make sure I didn't shake her on there. So the way this is designed, it has a little notch right here on this corner. So theoretically, you can just take the bees. Trying to do it on camera is a little difficult, I think. This is my first time even trying this. But if you're confident about how many to put in the cup, just shaking them in the cup, you can do that. But I'm going to shake them into my little measuring cup here. Just trying to get them to roll in there. There we go. Once again, I'm trying to do it on the camera. It's making it a little tougher for me, I think. Look for the queen. Don't see her. Tap them down. I'm going to shake them right in here until I get up to the line where they need to be. Don't see her. I think I'm just going to take my hand and run them down. That's what I'm going to do. Trying to do it for the camera once again. This is a better option here. So take your hand or a brush. Just run them down in there like that. That'll do it. There's the queen right there. That's actually a Corey Stevens queen. It's got the orange mark. She is well over a year old. Still doing good. And shake them and see what the results are. Good news is, this one had 0 mites after treatment. So I'm gonna go ahead and check the rest of these. I'll come back and talk to you a little bit about the results. We now have the Apivar strips out of all these colonies here at Appleton Farms. It's hot today, but there's a little bit of a breeze blowing. I'm doing a little better than I did last week with the heat. The results were kind of mixed. We had a couple that washed 0s, which is great. We have one that washed 8, which I'm not real happy about, and the rest were like 2, 3, 4. We did have one dead out in the colonies from the Auburn study. Overall, the bees looking good. I think we had 2 or 3 dead outs total out here, which, you know, this is the time of the year that I expect to have some dead outs. Could have been weak queens, could have been a number of things, but I'm okay with that. It happens. Got to get down to Slocum and do the same thing, remove the Apivar strips. Just another day in the life of a Southeast Alabama sideline beekeeper. Man, look at these bees. That, my friends, is a strong looking colony. Pretty darn calm too. Gotta get those strips out. Look at all that drone larvae here in mid-August. I don't see a single mite in any of those larvae. Not a bad brood pattern either. Went ahead and checked for mites, and we have 8, 16, 1 mite. Man, that's an ideal colony right there. I think we have a few more just like it out here in this Slocum bee yard. There's something coming in, man. They look so happy and healthy. It's awesome. Probably cotton. There's probably a cotton field nearby. Wow, look at these bees. And this is a colony I was a little worried about early in the year. They must have requeened themselves. Check them out. So very cool. At moments like this, I just love this beekeeping thing. Nothing quite like it. Look at that brood pattern. Wow, man. So much fun. Just finished up here in Slocum. These colonies are looking great. Super excited. Good times.